Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. We're back once again with some LEC offseason coverage, the latest and greatest news, speculation, rumors, and all that good stuff going on in the professional League of Legends scene. Again, more specifically today, we're talking about Europe. We're talking about Fnatic. We have some crazy stories to talk about today, guys. Sorry, 2 days ago I was sick. Yesterday I had a ton of computer PC issues, but we are back. The videos, the streams, everything is coming back. A ton of content coming from my channel today. So be watching out because, again, we have a ton of stories to talk about. I really thought once Perkz signed with CLOUD9 that we would get all these dominoes, that all these questions would start getting answered. But yesterday and today created so many new questions that we still have so much stuff that we have no idea about. So there's a ton of speculation, rumors, theories going around right now that we're going to be talking about. And we're just 2 days away from free agency starting on November 16th. So we got a couple days to get all this excitement underway before stuff starts going down for real. But here we go, getting right into today's video. Per Esports Maniacos, Fnatic will buy out Nisqy from his CLOUD9 contract and sign the Belgian mid laner to a new deal with their team November 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's the very first minute, second, hour that you can start to sign people, so they will be signing right away. Nisqy will replace NEMESIS, who will also be available for buyout this offseason. Now, if you're wondering about NEMESIS, it sounds like there is maybe some teams in the LEC that potentially want him, but it sounds like the most likely landing spots are Evil Geniuses or 100 Thieves. It does sound like Evil Geniuses is the most likely because 100 Thieves already has 2 imports in. Most likely they're getting Closer and Someday. If Someday can't get his green card residency, whatever, figured out, then obviously they wouldn't be able to bring in Nemesis. So it does sound like Nemesis to Evil Geniuses is going to be the most likely scenario. So that should be pretty exciting for Evil Genius fans. But again, talking about Nisqy headed to Fnatic. Fnatic, one of the biggest teams, biggest brands, biggest fan bases in the world. Mid lane, this highly coveted, highly just talented and sought after position. Whoever Fnatic mid laner is always going to be a big story. It's going to be a big deal. People are going to care about it, and it's going to be something that a lot of people have an opinion about, which makes this extra interesting. We heard that Fnatic was deciding between Nisqy, Febiven, and Leader. A lot of people were saying, well, if those are the 3 options, why don't they just bring back Nemesis? But, you know, whatever. They have a new coach in, obviously with Yamato, and he is building the team to his liking. There's a lot of Fnatic rumors going on right now. There's rumors that Hylissang potentially wants out, that maybe Reckless isn't going to re-sign. There's rumors that Yamato just wants to fully rebuild the team all the way over around Selfmade. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with Fnatic right now, but one thing we know for sure is that Nisqy is going to be their mid laner. So, Fnatic fans, again, when I asked you guys, it didn't seem like Fnatic fans were too excited about Nisqy, and honestly, I don't blame you. A lot of people are saying Nisqy fits the Fnatic playstyle well, and I think he does. He plays that European style of mid lane where you roam a lot. I think his playstyle is very similar to Caps. Obviously, he's nowhere near Caps, but Nisqy is one of those guys who's almost never in lane. He's always roaming around, always trying to help the team. He is not lane dominant. He actually doesn't really lane well, if we're being honest. When he does have to, when he is forced to stay in lane, he usually gets hard mid diff. Like watch 2018 Worlds CLOUD9 games. There is some rough, or 2019 Worlds CLOUD9 games. There's some rough games for Nisqy. He is interesting. You know, he had some very good splits in North America. Obviously, CLOUD9 was very good. He had he had an amazing team around him, and when you play that roaming style with a great team and you're good at roaming, which he certainly is, you can look very good. But I do think he is pretty one-dimensional. I do have questions about his champion pool, and if I'm Fnatic, I don't know. I'm not super excited. This is a team that is world-class, who could potentially be a top 4 team at Worlds next year, depending on how this offseason goes. They were top 8 this year, and they were 1 game away from being top 4 at Worlds if they would have not gotten reverse swept by top. And then bringing Nisqy into that team, to me, Nisqy doesn't really fit in that mold of that team that's trying to get top 4, top 2, be a Worlds contender, potentially even win Worlds. So if I'm Fnatic, it's a little bit of a step back. Yeah, again, would I rather have Nemesis over Nisqy? Like, personally, I would. But I know obviously there's some people that don't. Obviously, Fnatic doesn't want that. But I think it is pretty interesting. Nisqy is coming to Fnatic. There's going to be a ton of opinions. I don't think people are going to be very excited about it. But there is a thing where players seem to perform, develop, do a lot of things better in Europe than they do in North America. So maybe Nisqy, who did have a big fall off in summer 2020, he did start to look a lot worse as CLOUD9 started to look a lot worse. They went hand in hand. As CLOUD9 went, Nisqy went. It wasn't like Nisqy was trying to hard carry games and CLOUD9 was losing. It was like Nisqy was doing bad and CLOUD9 was losing. So they're not even picking up Nisqy at like the height of his career or anything. Obviously, he came off a very good spring split, but his summer split and playoffs were not that. So yeah, I don't know. They're not getting him at the height. It does seem kind of weird to bring in some LCS talent who's been in the LCS for the last couple of years. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's a big risk for Fnatic, but also so much of it is going to depend on who the rest of their roster is. Because yeah, I think Nisqy, Hylissang, having those two guys roaming around the map with huge carries like Reckless and Selfmade, that could be pretty disgusting together, honestly. But if Hylissang leaves, if Reckless leaves, and you start to have not as many carries, and now all of a sudden you have a mid laner who isn't very lane dominant, and who knows who your bot lane's going to be, you start to have some more question marks, but it's going to be very interesting to see. But this is the latest news, official, but pretty official. Jacob Wolf's one of the most reliable sources in all of esports. If he tweets something out, it's pretty close to official, especially now just 2 days away from all this stuff going down. We are starting to get more word. But yeah, pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Fnatic Nisqy? Do you think Fnatic's making the right choice? Do you think they should have went somewhere else? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to update on the latest content. Check me out over at Twitch, twitch.tv/I_am_germ. First link in the description below for $25 RP giveaway we got going on. It's going to be taking place in just a couple of weeks. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.